I've been waiting a couple years for this because we've been seeing Manny Machado and Bryce Harper both taking over the baseball world. I mean, Bryce Harper's got such a flair of a personality. Manny Machado, on the other hand, he was an all-star shortstop for the Orioles, and then he kind of wanted to play third base and sort of forced the Orioles to let him play third base. These two superstars were set to headline this off-season for free agents. It was basically a game of chicken for the most part, which I figured whoever was going to get the first contract, they weren't going to have the highest one because the other one was going to wait and then get a bigger contract, which is exactly what happened. Machado got 10 years, $300 million. Harper got 13 years, $330 million. So Harper got that more money, but I don't really know if he was deserving of that. And I think he might have if he had a better season last year and was a little bit more consistent with that MVP season he had, where he put up like ridiculous numbers. He batted like 315 with like 45 home runs or something like that. It was a ridiculous stats he had. Totally deserved that year. But the most important thing though is that Harper is sort of like Brett Gardner, where he gets his hot streaks and then he goes down. Do I think Harper's a better player? Yeah, he is, because he's got more power. Am I disappointed he's not on the Yankees? Yeah, because that short right field porch would have been nice, but Yankees don't want to be spending all that money when they've got like Judge and Sanchez, and they just locked up Severino and Hicks. It's interesting to see how much money these guys are making, and it's to play baseball. And it sort of boggles my mind how much we invest into sports, which, not to say it's deterring me from watching a lot of sports, because I'm an adult now, I'm busy, I work. I mean, it's like you can't sit down and watch every baseball game and hockey game, basketball game. You can't watch everything anymore. It sort of deters me that these guys are making all this money and like nothing's happening out of this. I think it's completely crazy that all this money is being funneled into them. I mean, just two contracts being over $630 million. I mean, that's a lot of money to lock up on just two people. I mean, you could definitely funnel that money elsewhere and make things a lot better. I mean, let alone, these guys are going to be averaging like $30 million a year. That's $30 million. That's more money than I've ever seen. What can I do with $1 million? I could pay off my student debt, probably my sister's, pay off the house bills. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of money, just even $1 million for me, let alone these guys are getting 30 times that amount. It's just unbelievable what we're throwing out here. I mean, basketball is starting to pick up too with all that stuff. Football players are getting more greedy with that. Unreal how much money these guys are being thrown and how much these guys are winning. Like, I remember like reading as a kid, like, seems like, oh yeah, these guys got like this first $1 million deal or whatever, as you're like learning to read different books, and it's just like, wow, these guys made all that money then, and it's just like, wow, now look at how it's come. I saw people were going on Twitter and whatnot and talking about even when Harper's deal ends, Bobby Bonilla is still going to be making his money from the Mets for another like 3 years. We know Chris Davis is going to have a longer year, but people still sort of celebrate Bobby Bonilla Day with all these deferred payments and whatnot. And honestly, I think that's probably a smarter idea to do. I mean, you're on the road training and everything for like 9 months out of the year. For 3 months, it's like, how can you really spend $30 million in 3 months? I mean, I guess you can if you got that black credit card, but it's a ridiculous amount of money that you don't need to be spending when you're 26, almost 27 years old, as Machado and Harper are. But it's just an unfathomable amount of money that these guys are just being given just to play baseball. And I really question our society's choices in how we spend money and value certain things over other things. We're caring more about sports than bettering our society. I mean, what's a baseball player really going to do? Inspire hope? Hey, work hard and you might get to make $500 million in your career. Like, that's not really solving any problems. And I think sports is sort of taken over a little bit too much. And am I still going to watch sports? Yes, but it's sort of like that feel bad sort of thing. It's that guilty pleasure, I guess. What are your thoughts on this?